The second one is about the structure, because the structure, as you said, at the moment largely follows TCFD, and quite a fan of the structure under the conceptual framework, to be honest. And again, if that's the same user, then the question would be, I think, why not use that structure? Now, that structure very much talks about relevance and faithful representation. And whilst faithfully represented is used as a term within the sustainability exposure draft, it's not exactly the same when we talk about faithfully represented, and it's not exactly the same structure of the two then followed by measurement. Also, the way in which uncertainty, aside from our question about the different level of it, the drivers of uncertainty under the conceptual framework are, for financial reporting, are existence, outcome, and measurement uncertainty. And they are seen as separate, whereas they're slightly nested in a different way within the sustainability exposure draft. And again, that gives rise to a potential inconsistency in how people are expected to think about those different types of uncertainty. And although we understand that the kind of clear blue water between the two relates from the fact that under ISSB, we're very interested in what are conceived of as assets and liabilities within those levels of uncertainty. In other words, things that the organization, economic resources the organization has control over, and any potential reductions of those resources because of liabilities, that in some way that does not relate to the issues that are being reported under sustainability disclosures. We feel that there is an overlap between the two, and particularly more likely to be an overlap under liabilities, and have, as the Capitals Coalition, have actually done a separate piece of work on this under disclosing impacts on the financial statements, specifically to explore that overlap. And so again, for those reasons, if that structure is not being followed, we think it would be useful to have some explanation of what and why, and then are there any implications of that difference, so that a user can be clear and get the read across between the financial statements and any sustainability disclosures now being made at exactly the same time, which of course would be brilliant. And again, that kind of I think it's similar to all of these. I think is that if these are differences, then they present a potential risk to the person wanting that useful information, because that discrepancy can make things less useful overall, and that's the thing to try and knock on the head earlier rather than later, we felt.